Welcome back to Let's Play The Evil Within, the assignment with me, Jerupitus, and we have just defeated Joseph in the sub-boss fight in Chapter 2. And now we are in a mysterious house from Kidman's past, so let's check it out.
Mother would sit in her chair, rocking back and forth, killing time until the next service. She barely spent any time with us. I wondered why she even had children at all.
And now, I think that's supposed to tie Kidman's past to the church from Ruvik's past that was doing the human experimentation before Reuben even began his experiments and the creation of STEM. They were some kind of cultish church doing experiments on people. So that kind of ties that together nicely, but let's check out this document.
Miss Kidman, please tell me about your family.
Next subject.
No. We've prolonged this talk for a while now. It's important for our understanding of you.
They never gave a shit. Too caught up in that church of theirs. More like a cult. It was like a punishment. Nothing I ever did was good enough for them.
They abused you?
No. It was more like neglect. That's why when I just left, they didn't care. They never came looking, they just gave up.
And you never went back to them?
I did. A couple of years later, they were gone. Everyone was gone. It was like the whole town got up and moved. I should have felt something, but I didn't.
And how do you feel about it now?
The same. They can rot for all I care. It was strange, though. There's a statue in the center of town. An angel with its head in its hands. I used to just stare at it when I was young, thinking it was sad. But now, I felt like even that statue knew how pitiful life was there. What a terrible place.
And the statue is a bit of a heavy-handed metaphor, but I do think that it's a nice characterization of why Kidman ended up the way she is. Which, you know, she's kind of a delinquent, a petty criminal, and her upbringing of neglect sort of explains that. And it explains what we're going to be recreating in this scene here.
Leslie! Leslie, stop!
But Leslie doesn't listen very well, so he doesn't stop and jumps down there.
At night, I would stare up at the statue lit up in the center of town. It looked like it was crying for all the wasted life in that place.
Being replaced by this door here. And what Kidman said about the statue in the center of town, there's nothing here. But if we go ahead and turn this light, we'll get one more light on it. Now we're going to need a third one, and then the fourth one, if you guessed where it's going to be our flashlight, you would be correct. So we've got to go find that third one. But before we do that, we're going to want to back off this way. Because up here, if we break these boxes, we will actually find something this time. And that's going to be another safe puzzle to find a letter scrap. And this one, we're going to need to light up all the lights. We've already seen one like this before. And that's going to be letter scrap number 7. And we're getting close to putting that letter all together. Now we need to go find the third spotlight to shine on the statue. And where we are right now is that market area.
A piece of my past. STEM must be creating this.
For Sebastian, it was the middle of the day and had lots of ammo pickups and things like that. But for Kidman, it's a much darker memory. And I think that's why it's much darker for her right now. But before I find that light, there is something along the wall over here I want to find. It is very dark, so it can be a little bit hard to navigate in here. But since we've come this far, why don't we just go ahead and grab it? A searchlight. The shape of this searchlight seems oddly familiar. It is splattered with grease and smells of blood. Are we sure it's grease, then? Anyway. Here we go. This is what I was looking for. This same hidden area is here for Kidman, but for Kidman, we are going to find a snail back here. So let's go ahead and do it. And there's our Joseph model. That thing is pretty sweet. And now we can get out of here and go put that searchlight where it belongs by the statue from the center of town. And we just need to rotate it a little bit. And now we've created the statue and the way forward is clear. But I just want to point out I really like this statue. It reminds me of the Weeping Angels from Doctor Who, which really terrified a lot of people, but I think they're a great design.
In life, we constantly search for a place we feel safe, a home we can always come back to. We imagine that place in our minds and are drawn to it. You had a home, but now that place is here with us.
And you can see how they're kind of emotionally manipulating Kidman by acting like they're her home when they most certainly are not. They're just more people that want to use her. God, Mobius is just the worst. But I'll tell you what's not the worst, is kitties. But we came in here for a reason, and that is to check out this tape, so let's give it a listen.
Reuben has no idea what he's done. It's not surprising that he doesn't care either. He was never motivated by fear of Mobius. The STEM prototype works, but only when connected to Reuben. I've checked the details, and he customized the whole system to only operate with his own brainwave pattern. I left him alone with the device for far too long. Trusted him too much, and despite all my knowledge in the field, it's past the point of fixing. I can't just flip a switch. And that's not the worst of it. They know as well. I'm not going to take the blame for this. I will drag him here and make him fix it. I can't imagine what they will do to him if he doesn't.
I can imagine what they will do to him. They will literally cut his brain out of his body and steal it from him. But we already kind of knew those things. That Reuben made the system really only compatible with his brain waves, which is why Leslie is so important to the system.
Well, they're drawn to it.
And if that's not a Resident Evil 4 reference, I don't know what is.
Please let it be Leslie. I've got to get to him before those things do.
And there are going to be a lot of enemies between us and Leslie, but if we turn to our right, we can just run this way. And this is the safest way to go about this. Now, there is a trap over here that you could use to kill a few of the haunted in the area, but honestly, it's not even worth it to try. And if we're quick, we can get right past this guy and go directly over here. And now we'll want to kick this all the way on this side and then get to the other side, and they'll both run to it, and we'll be able to sneak past that part no problem at all. Now, right up ahead of me is going to be a nice, convenient one-hit kill, and I'm going to want to use that. Because over to my left are going to be a bunch of haunted feeding on a corpse. So we're going to want to make sure we take this guy out silently. All right, he is down. And unfortunately, we actually can't use torches. Otherwise, the torch that he dropped might be really nice. But in this way, we're basically going to avoid everything in here. I made more noise there than I should have. But I think we're going to be okay. Maybe? That felt pretty lucky. Now what we're going to want to do...
That's the way from the floor. That should get them away from the gate.
is use that bell to lure them away from the gates. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. Now, honestly, you could just totally not do this sneak kill in this part. And just go run and ring the bell. But I'm going to go ahead and take this guy out just because I can, because I think it's more satisfying to just kill him.
Over here.
And let's lure him over there.
Help! Help! They're here! He's here!
Don't worry, Leslie, I'm coming. And now if we get up here, we will be able to ring the bell just like Ada in Resident Evil 4. And I would like to think that Leon is not Leslie. But, you know, you could argue he's a little bit of a dummy. And now that they're pathing up towards the bell, and where I was, we can get out of here.
Leslie, open the gate. I'm here to help you.
You're still here. Not safe. Not safe!
Never mind. That usually just lets me go right in there. But you know what? We'll just head back up to the top here, wait for them to path towards me, and then we'll do it again. And it should be fine. All right, will it work this time?
Leslie, it's all right. It's safe now. You can let me in.
Safe? It's safe now? Hurt.
Yeah, that was close.
He's here.
Finally found you. You're not hurt, are you?
Getting stronger. Can't get away.
We'll be fine, Leslie.
Church.
How am I gonna get us out of here?
Church, please.
The church.
Please, church. Church.
All right, come on. Stay close to me. I'll protect you.
Church.
And I do think that Kidman is starting to want to protect him and doesn't actually want to kill him. And it seems like she doesn't want to kill Joseph or Sebastian either. So the mystery of why she was terminated for insubordination is starting to kind of come into focus. And he briefly changed into Ruvik there, and the reason that things like that happen are because they share those brainwaves. I think that's why they transform into each other. Now, before we leave, we want to head down here, another one of these safe puzzles, and this is going to be the same as the first time we saw it, where we want to go most bloody to least, so that's going to look like this. And that's our final letter scrap. And now it's time to put all those together and see what it says. And so we have a little bit of a puzzle here where, whoops, we have to move these around. So it's X to rotate. And this is kind of hard to do with the sticks. All right, there it is. Let's give it a read. The torn letter. I sense at the moment Marcelo triggered the machine. He had removed my mind from the core. He thought he figured out how to get around me, but he is such a fool. The brain is nothing but matter. My consciousness is omnipresent. I can see them all, their memories, their thoughts, their fears. And by pulling in so many people, I will consume them all. From the weakest first, each mind gives me more power to conquer. Where does my world end and reality begin? From now on, that line begins to blur. And that is, of course, written by Ruvik. Awesome. Now that we've finished our letter, we can continue on. Because it's our mission to rescue Leslie, and we gotta get him out of here.
See, Leslie? We're almost there. Just a little further.
And I do like the contrast of how sort of calm and hopeful her voice sounds while the thunder cracks ominously. All right, come on, Leslie, let's get you out of here.
What the hell? You've got to be kidding me. Shit. Leslie, you've got to hide. Don't come out until I call you.
And there is some kind of horrible monster after us, but the first thing we want to do is run around to the other side where we had Leslie hide, and in here we will find our last collectible, the record. And that should be every single thing in the assignment. So now that we've got that all done, we have a little bit of a puzzle on our hands here. We've got to remove all of these doorways, and in so doing, we will be able to find these. When we get that out of the way, we will find these statues, and there are going to be 3 in total we want to find. This one's the winged idol. This figurine has wings spread wide and shows the true form of the statue in the market.
I guess you could say I started young. I would sneak into the graveyard, steal the statues, and hide them. I wanted people to think they were cursed, but every morning they were back in their right place.
And I don't know if that's supposed to be true or a dream she had. So that's my way back to the start. So we definitely don't want to go that way quite yet. We would like to do this first. And this is definitely the coolest statue. The ox-headed idol. This figurine has a cow skull for a head, appearing in Kidman's nightmares. It is a bad omen. And man, imagine having nightmares with that thing in it. Yikes. And this one's the cross-bearing idol. This figurine holds a crucifix between folded wings.
I had enough. When I knew I could survive on my own, I left and told myself I would never come back.
So now that we have all of the statues in hand, we can pull this lever. Just a little jump scare for you. Unfortunately, we don't get any green gel for that one because there's no green gel in this at all. So here is where the solution to the puzzle lies, and in order to figure it out, we've got to read this note. At 5 came a plague taking our livestock, and with that, many took their lives. At 7, Mother turned to the church. Their symbol was etched in her mind. And at 14, I left, leaving only a note. I wrote that I'd gone to heaven. So then we have these numbers on here. That one's 16. This one is 7, and this one is 5. So at 5, the plague came, so we're going to do the goat skull one. At 7, her mom became obsessed with the church, so we're going to do the one with the church symbol. And then at 14, she left and said she went to heaven, so we'll do the angel.
Come on, the church is right ahead. It should be a little safer in there.
All right, Leslie, let's get you to church. And now we've got,
Damn it!
I don't know if it's Noin or Zane, but one of the gigantic things is in here with us. And if we get spotted, we are going to be in trouble. If this thing catches you, you die instantly, so you gotta be sneaky. Alright, there he goes. And I'm just gonna run for it. Fortunately for us, he can't get through the gate, so we are safe for now. All right, come on, Leslie.
We should go.
Get you. Church. Get you. Get you. Get you. Get you.
It's all right. I'm here. Nothing is going to get you. You have to stay with me. There's no other way.
He's here!
Ruvik, what do you want with me?
You. I'm just making sure you're doing your job. Just like me, I doubt they want damaged goods.
Back up! He's coming with me!
Oh, I hope so. I needn't remind you the consequences for failure. Your people aren't the only ones counting on this boy. You need him to get out.
As do I. We're all their pawns, eventual victims. They killed me. They ripped me apart and took what they needed. I will destroy what they wish to control.
Ruvik?
Stop it! Let him go!
He is my vessel. I am in control.
I sense a conflict of interest. Just what was your mission exactly? Do you think their all-prying eyes can't see and hear? They've been watching you, kid.
What are you doing, kid? You are to bring the boy back to us.
No! I can't! If I bring Leslie out, Reuben comes with him. We don't know what he's capable of. I can't let that happen.
You swore allegiance, but you are not in a position to make decisions like this. This is not acceptable behavior. You will bring us back that boy. Run all you want, kid. You can't escape. Like everyone else that crosses us, we will hunt you down. Come back, kid. You have a job to do.
And we gotta run for our lives away from our boss.
Enough games. Stop running.
No! Stop! Get away from me!
Because there's nothing scarier than your boss coming after you on your day off. Now we got to avoid these grabby hands.
Come back, kid. You will bring us back that boy. Having all of you in one place will provide us with opportunities.
I can't trust you! Not like this!
No. She's coming with us. She's my responsibility.
Look, Seb, we need to talk. You're getting out of control.
Finally, with this machine, I can go back.
We can continue the experiments.
There are some things here that are to remain in the dark.
Beacon. I just hope I can get there before he does.
A little hasty with that gun, kid. What is it you plan on doing?
What I have to do.
And that is the end of the assignment. And there is, of course, at the end there, a little bit of a teaser for the consequence, which is going to show us the story of the consequences for Kidman having more or less betrayed her bosses by deciding of her own accord that Ruvik cannot be allowed to have Leslie. But we're going to get into that in the very next episode, so I just want to say thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.